Which one will create more millionaires, Bitcoin or altcoins? With so many cryptocurrencies out there, it's a question every investor is asking. Is Bitcoin still the king of wealth building, or do altcoins hold the real potential for massive gains?
I always have more Bitcoin than altcoins. Altcoins can always collapse, but Bitcoin is the real deal.
The answer isn't as simple as you might think. In this video, we'll break down performance, risks, and future potential to help you decide where the biggest opportunities really are.
Meme coins are starting to heat up.
To answer that question, we're going to have to look at the performance of these assets over the years. Bitcoin was the very first cryptocurrency to hit the market. Its price has gone through extreme ups and downs over the years. Take 2017, for example. Bitcoin skyrocketed from about $1,000 to nearly $20,000, only to crash back down to around $3,700 by the end of 2018. This kind of roller coaster ride has happened more than once, making Bitcoin kinda unpredictable. But here's the interesting part. Even though the price jumps around a lot, Bitcoin is still the most trusted and well-known digital currency out there. In fact, it makes up more than half of the entire cryptocurrency market. A big reason for this is that it was the first of its kind, which gave it a huge head start. Over the years, more and more people have invested in it, making its network stronger and harder to replace. That's why no matter how many new cryptocurrencies pop up, Bitcoin still holds the top spot. Meanwhile, altcoins, which in simple terms refer to all cryptocurrencies other than Bitcoin, aren't doing too bad either. Some are designed to fix Bitcoin's weaknesses, while others introduce completely new features. Take Ethereum, for example, which isn't just a currency, it's also a platform that lets people build apps and smart contracts without needing a middleman.
So why do we even need altcoins when Bitcoin is so valuable? It was the first, however, and that's why it's so popular and gets so much publicity. Altcoins were actually created in an attempt to create a better version of Bitcoin. So all altcoins have their distinguishing characteristics, which set them apart from Bitcoin. Since the creation of Bitcoin in 2009, there have been thousands of altcoins created, each one of them claiming to be better in some way.
Because of features like these, some altcoins have exploded in popularity. Just look at meme coins like Doge and Shiba Inu. Doge was created as a joke in 2013, and today it's a multi-billion-dollar asset. Shiba Inu was launched in 2020 as a Doge killer, and it's one of the top altcoins out there. Safe to say that Bitcoin is not the only contender in this race. There are other kinds of altcoins as well. Payment tokens, as the name implies, are designed to be used as a currency. And then there are stablecoins. These were created to reduce the overall risk by keeping their price pegged to the market value of an external asset, such as fiat currency or commodity. How does that happen? Well, your usual cryptocurrency isn't tied to a physical asset, but some stablecoins are tied to assets like precious metals. And then there are utility tokens. These are designed specifically to provide services. For example, Filecoin can be used to buy storage space on a network. Meanwhile, Ether, another utility token, is specifically designed for the Ethereum blockchain. Volatility and risk tolerance. With that out of the way, the next thing we need to look at is volatility and risk tolerance. And I think everyone can figure that out for themselves. Compared to altcoins, Bitcoin is way less volatile. Since it's widely used and has a deep market with plenty of buyers and sellers, its price doesn't swing as wildly. Remember, we're talking about comparisons. Another big advantage of Bitcoin is that it leads the entire crypto market. Bitcoin has generally remained above 40% of the global cryptocurrency market since 2016. And when Bitcoin's price moves, whether up or down, it affects the entire crypto market. Because of this, many investors look at Bitcoin's trends to get a sense of where the whole market might be headed. But when it comes to risks, the stakes are much higher with altcoins. They tend to be even more unpredictable than Bitcoin. Some can shoot up in value by hundreds of percent in just weeks or even days, but they can also crash just as fast.
But it's really, really hard with meme coins to play them optimally, because if you hit one of the ones that's like the leader for the cycle, if you take profit at like 10x and you take profit a lot, you're gonna think like, wow, if I would have held all of that, I could be up 1000x plus. So it's really just a way. It's honestly the hardest part about trading meme coins when they do really well is the mental part of it.
And that's not all. You've got to worry about digital scams when it comes to altcoins. Since altcoins offer innovation, it's easy to introduce a coin offering crazy benefits to trap investors.
The reason there are so many altcoins primarily is because people were trying to get rich quick, causing the price to go artificially up. Then once it reached its peak, the developers would actually sell off all of their coins, raking in the profits and leaving everybody behind wondering what happened to their investment.
There's the liquidity issue as well. See, liquidity in the financial market means how easily you can convert your coin into cash. When it comes to altcoins, the liquidity is very thin, meaning you'll have a hard time converting your coins into cash. This is because of fewer investors and lower trading activity. Remember Aurora coin? It was popular in Iceland at one point, but then it lost popularity and consequently lost almost all its value. Another thing to keep in mind is that not every new coin you see on the market is going to end up going big. Just take a look at my big coin, MBC, which ran into legal trouble and eventually became worthless. That's why the altcoin market is flooded with dead coins. Future potential. However, the very fact that altcoins bring something new to the table means that there's a chance there could be a sudden rise in prices, allowing you to make big profits. And honestly, with time, the chance that altcoins could go mainstream is very high. That's why you'll find a lot of crypto gurus talking about altcoins possibly blowing up in the future.
As you wouldn't believe this, I have a friend who went 90% into Pepe. 90%! And she is convinced that it's gonna go up like 10x, 100x or something like that. Poof! I think you should like not do 90%, like 5% max, but she's convinced that it's gonna do very well. We're gonna keep an eye on what Pepe does and how her portfolio is performing. But if she's right, she's gonna be rich.
As of early 2025, the altcoin market cap is around $224 billion. So yes, the market does promise a lot of potential. But does that mean Bitcoin will go out of fashion? Well, no. Bitcoin is evolving into something much bigger. As its ecosystem grows, it's not limited to just one function. It can serve as a foundation for many different uses, either on its own or through new layers built on top of it. What makes Bitcoin truly stand out is how it's designed. Its built-in features make it different from any altcoin. Because of its high level of security, decentralization, and reliability, many experts believe that no other digital asset will surpass Bitcoin purely as a form of digital money anytime soon. But as a first-time investor, what should you choose? Well, if you're getting into crypto, Bitcoin is a great starting point. Since it's the most established cryptocurrency out there, holding Bitcoin in your portfolio can add some stability with long-term growth potential. On the other hand, you can invest in altcoin on the side. Doing so lets you tap into new technologies and market trends. You also get to sign yourself up for higher returns with high risks. That said, if you want to avoid the risks that come with investing in altcoins, you make some smart moves like staying on top of market trends. Crypto moves fast and new projects pop up all the time. If you're considering altcoins, don't just follow the hype, dig into the technology behind them, their real-world uses, and whether people actually need them.
Always, always, always learn about an altcoin before you invest your money into it.
You can also set limits on how much you're willing to lose, consider stop-loss orders, and avoid putting all your money into risky bets. As a general rule of thumb, you should only invest the amount that you're prepared to lose. At the end of the day, a balanced approach is the key to enjoying the best of both worlds. And that's all for today. Are you big on Bitcoin or altcoins? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you next time.